Peace, everybody. Hope everybody doing good today. Yeah, this is another video we got for you. My question today is, what happens when your dispute letters don't work? What happens when that dispute letter do not work? What's really going on? What's really going on, y'all? What happens when that dispute letter don't work? What do you do? You know, this is where the rules, the rights, and the responsibilities is. This, you know, this is where it begins at, right? Because it puts you back in control. The rules and rights and responsibilities is where it begins, because it puts you back in control. Now, let me put out the disclaimer. This is not legal advice. This is not financial advice. If you would like for financial advice or legal advice, I suggest you find yourself a competent professional and be advised. What I'm about to say here is strictly for education, information purposes only. If you find it entertaining, then be entertained. And the views and opinions of me, the host Foresight, does not reflect any of the views and opinions of any platform that hosts Blind Intelligence. Now, back on to my question, is what happens when you send in a dispute letter to get an item removed and it don't work? It don't work. You just give up? You just throw in the towel and say, oh, they're not listening to me, forget it? Is that what you're saying? Are you going to give up that easy? Do you have that defeatist attitude because something don't work out the first time, or the second time, or the third time? You're just gonna throw in the towel, say, oh, what's the use? They're not gonna remove it. Defeatist attitude. But that's not how it works. That is not how it works. But you have to build that courage up within inside yourself. You have to understand. If you don't understand how it works, then you're gonna always have how things work. You're gonna always have a defeatist attitude. You're gonna give up on the first sign of a pushback. When you get a pushback, that's the first sign. When you get a pushback, they want you to give up. I'm telling you, they want you to give up. That's why they give you, a lot of times, that's why they give you the pushback. And I don't care how you frame that letter, how well you sent that letter off, a lot of times, but most of the time, if you're constantly sending the same letter, you're going to get the same result. They'll mark it as frivolous. So you got to change up them letters. You can't say the same thing and get the same result. You got to get different letters. Every letter is for different situations. Even if, let's just say, if you got a charge off. You got to charge off. You send in your first round, and you got to send in you got to send your dispute of method of verification. If that letter comes back verified, you got to send in a letter of method of verification. You got to send in different types of letters. Can't be the same thing. That's the same thing like you send a letter in for charge off, You can't send the same letter for a late payment. You can't say the same thing but then just put late payment. Say, this letter's not mine, late payment. Psst. Lazy. No, you got to send in a letter wording late payment in such a way to where they're going to remove it. It does not have no dealings with, you're not wording this thing the same way you word a charge off. Bankruptcies, what they call it, those hard inquiries. All those letters, you gotta send different types of letters. They can't be the same. They can't look the same. Well, I ain't gonna say look the same, but what I'm saying is in terms of wording. So, but and this is why, this is why your letters come back verified. This is why your letters don't work. See, this is a touchy subject, you know what I'm saying, but you have to address this elephant, because this is it. This is an elephant in the room. That's an elephant that you have to address. Because I know what's going on with a lot of you. A lot of you is going, I know it's happening. It happened to me. But you have to fight. Can't accept, what they tell you. They tell you anything. They tell you anything, you're going to accept anything. You're going to accept anything. You're going to accept it because they told you. Makes no sense to me. And you're stuck holding the bag. And you still got this mess on your consumer report. And you can't get a house. You can't get a loan. You can't get a car. Because you won't do your due diligence and be persistent. It's the same, look. Like I told you before, I'll say it again and again and again. You got all this mess on. It took you 20, 30 years to get this mess on your consumer reports. I'm not saying it's going to take 30 years to get it off, but it's going to take some time to remove all that mess. It's not just going to come just overnight or maybe over the next 30 days. No, it's not going to happen. You're going to have some challenges. You're going to have some challenges. So, get ready. You have to set it in your mind. Because this is psychological. This is the psychological aspect to all of this. This is how you defeat them. The way you defeat them is you got to defeat your limited thinking. This is how you defeat them. Once you defeat your limited thinking, then you can move forward, and you ain't gonna have no problems when someone gonna send you a verified letter. Cause now we're gonna go into a method of verification. Hey who sent this mess to you? And you're gonna run it down. You have to run this down. Then if they don't want to comply, guess what? That's what the CFPB is for. That's what the Federal Trade Commission is for. That is what your Attorney General is for. When you start sending these letters out, now you done put the radar. Now you got the radar on them. Don't go to the look. Let me tell you something. It's cool that you can go to the FCRA. But the main one you want, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, but the main ones you want to go to is these data furnishers. Who reported this mess? Who reported that? Did LCI report that mess on TransUnion? Who reported it? Did LexisNexis report that bankruptcy? Who reported it? Did Portfolio Recovery reported this mess? Hey, you need to go to the data furnishers. Because number one, they didn't have permissible purpose. They didn't have permissible purpose to report that mess. They didn't have permissible. I mean, anytime when the person give your identity to somebody else, what is that? And then they didn't get your permission to do it? How the heck they get a pass? Man, they need to do something about that. They need to do something about that. The Congress got all these laws and stuff like that. Hey. But yet and still, they still break the law all the time. And I'm talking about these third-party data furnishers. If it's illegal for you to use my information for anything without my permission, then we need to address the elephant in the room. We need to go to these folks and talk to these people. That's another elephant you got to deal with. But I want to talk about you for a minute, because how you doing in all this mess is the key. How you doing in this mess mentally is the key, because you can't win. You can't win laying in your bed, moping about it, groping about it. You can't lay in the bed. If you gotta get up and get angry, get angry. Get your skills, get your writing skills together. If you gotta get your writing skills together, get your writing skills together. Do that. Make sure you get your writing skills together and fight these people. You know, if you don't know what to do, ask somebody. Ask somebody. Say, look, listen, look, we don't know what to do. I'm always available. I'm always available. You can reach me at blindintelligence718@gmail.com. If you don't know what to do, you gotta talk to somebody. Just reach me. I'll reach back out to you. But you just can't just, have this thing where, oh, I'm gonna just let you handle it, this, that, whatever. No. Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you let anybody handle your bank account? Do you let anybody handle your bank account? Do you let anybody count your money for you that's in your pocket? Do you take out the money out of your pocket and hand it to somebody, tell them to count it for you? No. When you go to work and you get that paycheck comes on your card, you got somebody to read it for you? I'm gonna go even lower than that. You got somebody going to the bathroom for you? Is anybody, when you wake up in the morning to go wash your face, is there somebody standing in the bathroom waiting with a soap and rag to wash your face for you? If you're living alone by yourself and you gotta wash dishes, is there somebody standing there waiting to wash dishes for you? You got to really start taking charge of what you're doing, especially your finances. I know this credit thing is scary, but the only way that you're gonna have to deal with it is you got to deal with it head on. Pull them reports and look at them. If you don't know what you're looking at, read them anyway. Look at the words to find out what it means. But you have to get through this. The only way you're going to get through it is you dealing with it. I know it's tough. I know it's tough. But it wasn't tough when you had took out those credit cards. And now, when the credit cards didn't went 180 days, now they sending you letters. Now you got debt collectors sending you letters, debt junk buyers sending you letters, and you don't know what to do because you got so many credit cards, so you got so many folks coming at you. All seems like all at one time. That's what it seems like. It seems like it's all at one time. So, but these are your experiences. But I'm just want to show you how to get through them. And the only way that you're going to get through them is you got to be mentally strong. You got to be mentally strong. You got to be bold. If you got to get angry, get angry. I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions about these letters not being answered, stuff coming back to you and everything like that, I would like to hear from you. So please leave me a comment and and we will definitely reach out to you, and then we will find out exactly what's going on. And it's probably something minor. It's probably something minor. If you can just tweak something a certain way or some, you'll probably get a better result. Well, that's it for me. I'm your host, Foresight. Thanks for watching.